Welcome back to class. In this class, I'll be teaching you how to lay your patterns on your fabric, following the grain lines, the sides of a fabric, how to mark your patterns on your fabric, and how to cut out your fabric after marking. So first off, this is the selvage part of your fabric, which is usually the length of the fabric, and this is the width of your fabric, which is most times the stretchiest part of your fabric. So when placing your pattern, make sure that your grain lines are parallel to the selvage, like I've placed mine. And to save fabric, we make sure to lay our patterns close to each other, just giving enough room to mark. This way, we use less fabric for each garment. So I've placed my front pattern, I've placed my back. You remember the back pattern always has two parts, the left side and the right side. I've placed the bands of the skirt. This is the front band, this is the back skirt band for the left side, and this is the back band for the right side. So now we're going to proceed to marking the patterns on the fabric. So we're marking our pegged skirts on the fabric, like so. You can place a weight on your pattern so it doesn't move while you're marking. And then I'm going to put my notch marks on the fabric. Remember that the notch marks direct whoever is teaching on how to join two or more fabrics together. So I've notched this, notched my hem, notched the hip, and also the waistline. Don't forget to notch your darts also. Put your notch marks for the darts, just as it will be sewn. Okay. I'm marking, you put your notch marks. So to get your fabric rating, you can simply measure the length, which is the selvage of your fabric from where you started using the fabric to the end. Mine is about 30 inches, and also the width of the fabric. Which is about 45 inches. So this is approximately 1 yard of fabric that we are using to make this skirt. This will help you in the case where you want to mass produce. So you know that if you are using 1 yard of fabric to produce one, you simply multiply it by the quantity of garment you are going to be producing. Now we're going to simply cut out what we have marked on the fabric. Okay, so we've cut out the bands. We're going to keep cutting. So if you noticed, we laid the band pattern twice. We laid the back band pattern here, and then we laid it here also, because we are going to be using two pieces of each to sew the band. So one covers the other. That's why we're cutting two pieces of each. So 2 pieces for the left side of the back skirt, 2 pieces for the right side of the back skirt, and 2 pieces for the front skirt. So we are now notching the fabric just as it is going to be sewn. Always put your notches, very important. Always put your notches so that whoever is stitching or sewing the garments knows how to join. Okay, we're now done with the front skirts. Skirt band. Add all my notches to this. I'm now going to cut out the band. Okay, so we're going to be cutting an interfacing for the skirt bands. I'm going to spread this. Simply going to use the patterns that were used to cut the bands. To cut this. Okay, so our interfacing is to be cut ×2. Okay. This is exactly how it is going to be sewn. So the front skirt, the front waistband, and the front interfacing. Left side of the back, skirts, waistband, and interfacing. The right side of the skirt, the waistband, and the interfacing. And this brings us to the end of our class. See you in sewing class.